Hi guys, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Mubale ku motoka katono nnyo. Mwasuze mutya abantu bange, how are you today? Kale guys, today is question Friday. Let's ask all the questions that are there. Good morning Muyombia, Mark, Jones Info, Tusime Eddie, Mogalasi Joshua Mixed Farm, Jones Info, Travel Live Vlog, Lawrence Biamukama. I think one has to make the best research before making a choice to buy their first car. George Bob, Krista Vinci, Deep in Coffee, Emmanuel Cavalry. After compare for me, feel the new shape with Wish new shape. I'll definitely take the Wish. I'll take the Wish any day. More space, more comfort, same price. Bruno Isingoma, good morning. Safe Kagawa, Louis, English Shop Plus 256, Moksime Kim Job, Bambale Johnson. I saw you on TikTok talking about types of engine oils. Yes. Habez Chris Enoswambi. Mark Suna, Julius Ivan, George Senkubuge, Julius Ivan VIP, George Senkubuge, habari ya asubuhi asa, habari munonga mnonga. Ha, Swahili buga. Yeah, Andrew Kuni, I drive 2005 Toyota Ranex NZ. Which oil should be? It depends on how old your engine is and what oil you have been using. Guys, one thing we need to understand about engine oil is once you have started using a certain engine oil, you cannot go back to a lighter engine oil. You get it? So engine oils have additives. They are, what should I say? They have thickness. The best way to say it is engine oils have thickness, and the thicker the oil, okay, the older the engine, the more thicker the oil you need. The newer the engine, or then the lighter the engine oil you need. So, but our mechanics just had gotten used to putting the cheap engine oil. Every car tugule oil wa mitwaro musanvu kitundu tuteekemu. Every car tugule oil wa musanvu kitundu tuteekemu. So it was the norm, and that's how it has been. Omuntu ajemoloka ye mu bondi ne bateekamu oil wa mitwaro musanvu ekitundu. And that oil gwe bayita motor oil, aba total bamuyita motor oil. Gwe bamuteekamu, it's okay, the engine will work, but you're making it work harder. Ogazia, what do they call obutuli obuyitamu oil? Okitegeera ejja sigale ng'ekola bulungi ejja kuba na buzibu. But what oil is recommended for your engine? Now, normally when you buy a car, of course now Kim Job, we moroka yo nkadde 2005 probably by take the engine oil omukadde. So just stick with the engine oil, go back, don't take there is no saving that. But for the guys that are going to the bond probably this week, or people that went to the bond last week, the thing you need to understand is you read your user manual and you find out which engine oil is recommended for your car. Start with that one. Of course, now here in Uganda, we can get 5W30. You can get, I think 5W30 is like the minimum, the lightest oil we can get in Uganda. Kateze morokezo, the hybrids, zina kubanga zikoyo soyo oil. Mwabavuga 2015 models, 2014, you should be using 5W30. Now, what happens is if the oil is light and the engine is bad, it will smoke because oil jaba itawata ina yita. It's because the oil goes where it's not supposed to go. The rings are supposed to stop the oil from going there. The rings are worn out, so the oil goes through. Now, normally, emoroka yobo etani kokufuwa ne baga kati emoroka efuwa enywa oil. Chobo ino kusoko okora nga tonaba kusiba engine kwe kuchusa oil. If, for example, you have been using 5W30, so take 5W50. Orabe eyinza okulekera okufuwa ngoli oil abadde just light nga ayitawo. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. But some of you guys are buying used cars which have already been spoiled. Nemoroke sobora okubanga you beat you. Naye ng'oli olwagigula mu bond natekamu oil omubi. Okitegeera n'agitandika bubi. Kitegeeze ye moroka. The moment it smokes, it has smoked because it's already using the extreme old engine oil. So, me personally, I use 5W40. Why? I found that my engine, mileage bagikwata mu bond. So I assume I bought this car when it was at around 60 something thousand kilometers. I know it was around 120. Me, I know for a fact. So if it is around 120, 5W30 is the recommended oil for 1NZ, the new engine. Ranex here is in 1NZ or 1NZ. If it has the old 1NZ, but the new 1NZ, the one that is in the new Fielder, the new the Sienta, the Rumion, the 1NZ that is in the one that is in the new NZ placed engine cars, yeah. So the 5W30 is what is recommended, but our engines are old still, and because our engines are old, bojigula boti mu bond tandika gikozesa 5W40. Now 5W40, I think a liter is about over 50 something, over 60 something. Normally I buy a 4-liter jerrycan at 260,000, 260, and that oil can take you 10,000 kilometers. Oil go take them. Now, The advantages of you starting your car with the light engine oil is that as your engine grows old, before anyone tells you to even overhaul the engine or change the engine, we can set an you just change the oil. You just change the oil. We take a thickness. Paka boy kado jagenda okulaba nga your engine lasts a little longer. Someone is selling me a Nissan Juke. Would you advise me, because I need a car that I will bring in Uganda? It's almost new. Travel Life Vlog, if it's almost new, bring it. By the time it starts disturbing, I find that all the Nissan Jukes we were seeing last year don't be on the road this year. So, and I'm not discouraging you, but that's the fact. And in Ebuzika Katuwendi, this is the hub of all luxury cars. I've not seen a Nissan Juke or I've not seen a Nissan Juke anywhere. And I've seen some luxury cars. That's a BMW. Right? I've seen Range Rovers, Land Rovers. I've even seen these Chinese cars or GMC. But I've not seen a Nissan Juke anywhere. I've seen Nissan Fugas. That's a Subaru. Right? I've seen Renaults. I've seen Kias. But I've not seen Nissan Jukes anywhere. So that's and I don't know. But what if now at a bargain you can bring it? But manyeins okusalam. Then the Nissan Jukes I used to see on the road last year and not on the road this year. I don't know nyizo wakati sizira babulabe basizisa ko birowozo. But anyway, katuvuge one. We are going to drive for about 30 minutes, yeah? If you see a Nissan Juke on the road, that's a sign from God that you should bring your Nissan Juke. If you don't see a Nissan Juke, me, I'm thinking, VW Touran. Tiguan, that's a Tiguan, yeah? Zizo Ezojeziri. That's a Tiguan, yeah. That's the younger brother of the Touareg, yeah? So, if you're getting at a bargain, bring it. Like you see, Kaya akatunda 6.5. Yakateka muyingi ne gearbox bipya. So we were asking ourselves, akamoro kako yingi ne gearbox bya million nya. Okujja ko nga akamoro kabamuwaka we, how is he again selling it 6.5? Abantu bayina ebibalo byabwe. Obanga yingi ne kale yalonda nnondo, obanga yajigula at a very big bargain, obanga yaje importing da. Ukitegeera. So anyway, it's Question Friday, guys, and my question is, how important is buying your first car to you? I want us to discuss this because I've realized for some people, buying a car is equivalent to someone that has been struggling to get a child, and now they have a chance to actually have a baby. You get it? That's how important it is for some people. How important is buying your first car to you? How important was it to you before you bought it? Yeah. Was it like I need to buy a car if I don't buy a car now? Because there are people who in their family there is no one with a car. Actually, there are people, when you look back in their family, no one, they don't even know anyone, even from the extended family, that has ever driven a car. I'll give you an example. I just need to use this example. The person who tried to know million in their village, the entire village, there are 2 cars. There are 2 businessmen that have cars, and they have chikumis. One has a chikumi UAL, another has a chikumi UAH. You get it? And the homes are quite a big distance. Now, this gentleman's home is in the middle. It's engulfed between these people. Actually, for him, buying a car is sort of like, I need to get a car, which is why I took my time. I took the challenge on. Budget. Even yesterday I saw a car, but I'm going to be updating you guys. So I took it upon it. I took it on as a challenge to make sure that he gets a car. So he told me, ewawe kucharu mucharo. Actually, he said, if I buy a car, I don't even know if I will come back alive. You get it? It's like for him buying a car, he's breaking a certain curse of sorts. And if he's able to break that curse and he goes to the village and comes back alive, that will be a victory. You get it? He actually said he wants to buy capes. You know, we have capes. Some capes have motonzi ya Sarao, other capes Mvuga Yange, Sita Chisumuruzo. He said, you know what? Me, I want a cape, but I want it to have Salaza Mama. Even Micah will have Salaza Mama. You get? I laughed. It's almost like it's impossible for someone to tell you, man, if I buy this car, you will see the happiness on my mother's face. But I also don't know if I take this car to the village, if I'm coming back alive. You get? It's like, you know what? You're going to be looked upon as someone that has gone beyond, like you have become too successful, more successful than anyone else in the village. You get? So now the challenge is, we need to get a car. At any one moment that there is something wrong. So we need to get a car that is going to be intact, a car that is will drive to the village, come back, and that if anything goes wrong, he knows what to look at. Which like me when I was driving a Golf, go for it. So about fine santi bakuruga. Sijidana munze. Sinza na ne benzi. Benzi yo sajina akonyo buzibu. It's just you yafanga byayo, and I think it's you get to know as you grow up. So guys, how important is buying a car to you? Then there was someone who came, he bought a car, but he told me, Arthur, today I am buying a car. Why? I am buying a car because if I don't buy it today, someone in the village will call me tomorrow with a problem of 2 million and I'll send it. He told me, for us, in our culture, you cannot be having money and your brother has a problem and you don't send it to him. So the issue is I should get a car today. If I don't get a car today, I might never buy a car. And then he told me there was a time I had 25 million. Now I have 16 million or 17. You get? So I have 17. In the next 1 month, the 6 will go. You get? So we need to get a car now. So we got a car. And he said, for some people, buying a car is fighting a battle. You're fighting a battle against the odds. You get? And I find that one of the reasons why we as Africans don't have a lot of, I think Africans and South Americans and majorly Africans and and Asians, but Asians are improving. One of the reasons why we have those trouble buying cars is because we have a lot of black tax. Like you realize that majority of the people that come to me and they say, Arthur, I have to get a car, they are fighting against black tax. The problems are going to still keep coming. So what do? I need to buy this car so that those problems come and they find me when I already have my car. You get? So that I can, if I can't solve them, I can't solve them, but I have acquired this asset. You get? So how important was buying your first car to you? For you was not. So you get my question? You guys can also ask your questions, but my question is, how important is buying your first car to you, or how important was buying your first car to you? For some people, it's really important. For me, I think, Nzenga Arthur, I think buying my first car was not actually something I intended. I had started learning how to drive with my friend here, Then my auntie called me to go help her put a battery on her car. Then when I went, I asked her, can I take the car? She said yes. So I drove it. Then I realized I was fixing the car for her. Then I said, she said, give me 3 million. Asking some people, they were saying, oh, Ronze. So I paid for the car. So that's how I bought my first car. It wasn't something I actually planned. I didn't plan it. Yeah, I didn't even know I had that money. So when she said, give me 3 million, so I asked the person that was keeping my money, do I have 3 million? And the person said, yes, you have 3 million. I said, send it to me and I buy a car. So that's how I bought my first car. You get it? But for some people, it's something they work for a very long time. Like the person I'm talking about, the one who is buying a car of 4 million. Yasoka na kunganya sending aweza ni milioni 10. But somehow problems keep coming. Problems keep coming nezibitwala. Ebizibu nebijja nebizibitwala. Osegere ebizibu nebitwala sente bwe bityo. Until you finally say, you know what, emoroka kasoke njeso nyensoke maze ebizibu byewaka. But one thing I've learned is that problems never get done. You can never finish all the problems. Black tax, guys. Black tax. Now, black tax, for the people that don't know, black tax is the amount of money you need to keep paying to your family because you have made it. So it's a tax because we are black people. Because black people, we normally don't plan when we have our children. So we just have kids, and because our income is not enough, so the kids now need to pay us tax for having raised them. So that's the black tax. And it's not just in Africa, it's I think black people generally, even in the US, where you get parents don't plan for themselves. So because your parent had you, just by the virtue of you being their children, you need to pay them, probably monthly or annually or even daily. You need to keep giving them money. And if you don't give them money, then they'll remind you how they raised you, or how they paid your tuition, or how they gave birth to you, how they carried you for 9 months. God save me from being a black taxation system for my kids. Good morning, Gideon Opaye. How are you? Busy Chris. Good morning. I want Ipsam. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. There is no Ipsam that is 1,600. Eric Kavuma, good morning. Kato Muhammad, good morning. Nasime Kim Job. Arthur, when I bought my car, I found the previous owner had put the phone holder on the dashboard, and upon removing it, it left significant scratches on it. Would it be the same? No. The windscreen doesn't get issues. No, the windscreen can be cleaned anytime. The dashboard is what is delicate because it's plastic. Eh? The windscreen is glass; it can be cleaned unless you scratch it. But the rubber that attaches to the windscreen is rubber. Rubber does not scratch. You get? Go guys. Masuze Fahad Lubuka. Good morning. Idris I am. Good morning. Question Friday, guys. Bring the questions on. Good morning, Arthur and Caravaz. Notifications come up. Na busy with body. Na anti ndiko overtime. Muliko high sense. Mukama wange itawo gende. Nese ngakala makubo mugalwana ko ne mugakola. Ne mugagazi yagazi ya muko okusinga okutunyikiriza. Yeah, but how important is your first car? Can I get a good Vitz Paso Primo at 10 million? Yes, but good is what do I want to say? Good depends on the hand. Depends on who is looking at. If for example, if for example you are like Arthur, a car that might not be good for Arthur might be good for Fahad, and then a car that might be good for Fahad might not be good for Arthur, and something like that. But yes, Paso okuja Kongo osuubudde Paso ennungi ezitali za busuubuzi ziri mu $13,000. Primo, the old model, yes, you can. Vitz, yes, but I don't want to guarantee good. It will be okay. It will be a moving car, but I don't want to say good. But yes, you can. Chris Fitness, good morning. Gabi, the FX trader. Semanda Raymond. Mwasuze mutya. kansubire muli bulungi nnyo. So today's question Friday, guys. Bring your questions on, and my question for you is, how important is or was buying your first car? Was it something that is life or death, or why it was I think I should buy my first car? Chari chitya. Chari chitya. What's the difference between Primo Ordinary and Primo Super? The Primo Super, the way you can hear the word super, it has additional amenities, additional things, improved things. That's why they call it the super. You find that the lights are improved. You find that the dashboard is new, but the seats are much more comfortable. The suspension system is different. You get even the way the body of that car is shaped. But now, why is it that you can go ahead and use the Primo Super and it feels like a Primo Ordinary? It's because when you buy a Primo Super that has been changed, normally when these spare parts people bring spares, they bring spares for Primo. They don't differentiate spares for Primo Super, Primo Ordinary. So when they bring spares for Primo Ordinary, then because the spares for Primo Ordinary can actually go onto a Primo Super, especially the suspension things. Chovola wancho javuga Primo Super, ngateina njawulo na Primo Ordinary. You get what I'm saying? But the ideal thing would be, if traders actually cared about us, they'd be bringing the valita, zino shocks are Primo Super, zino shocks are Primo Ordinary, because there is a difference. Every time there is an improvement in a car, they improve almost everything. There is someone I saw Yabadagamba who succeed in the Probox Tezina and Jaro. They have a difference. They have a difference, but mechanics don't want to acknowledge that they have a difference. The difference, the reason why when you sit in a new Toyota Succeed and the new Toyota Probox and you drive them, you feel a difference, is because even the suspension system is different. But shocks are Succeed wezifa ngamuteka is a Probox. And obviously, the Probox shock absorbers are cheaper than the shock absorbers of the Succeed, because the shock absorbers of a Succeed are improved or ought to be improved. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So yes, Primo Super and Primo Ordinary are different like that. Musasizi Emmanuel, good morning. How is Kamuli? Says GMC is an American brand. GMC, are you sure they have a bad logo? How does an American create a bad logo like that? Yeah, something told me but it looks Chinese, definitely. Maybe it was made in China. The logo is definitely bad. But you know, network etukozeeko emikolo naye ng'ebiseera bya kuvuga wanuwe. Network etukozeeko emikolo naye ng'ebiseera bya kuvuga wanuwe. Ebiseera bya kuvuga wanuwe. Naye ate bwe tuvuga wanuwe ne tuteekayo leeni bbiri mu wanuwe tuba tetwonoonye. Nga ndabanga ffe ababa boonoonye. Abaye. Ndaba ffe ababa boonoonye naye ate kati kye kiba kinsigaza nga bannange bo bagenze. Katugende katuvuge kiwanuwe. So guys, it's question Friday. It's question Friday. Mark Suna, what your GWM? But who even looks at those things? Bro, when you get a car, HRO, or Chiria Kuwere, Ngavi FX trader, Munange, this gentleman, Nayangam, Abasaja Babi, Abina Chukumi, wow, Tibali Debakawa Saja Baba Mazeo, Babali de Baba Mazeo, Rachukumi, a million, no. I think a bomb knew Bazuya Bazula million is Satu. Good morning, Arthur. How the Shell HX 10W40? If you're HX in vehicle, when you're buying oil, look at the 10W40. 10W40. And normally I would recommend that you look at first of all, know how old is your engine, how good is your engine. Then I will get 10W is the thickness or the viscosity when it's cold. Cold start. So it's it's the thickness is 10 when you're starting in the cold conditions, and then the thickness is 40 when the oil is hot. You get it? The thickness is now. Why do you want to mind the thickness when it's cold, the one that has a W? It's because when the oil is too thick, yeah, for new engines, the engine has to work harder to put the oil where it has to be. Yet you could actually give it a lighter oil where it doesn't have to work so hard. Where it doesn't have to work so hard to put the oil where it needs to be. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So kakati, depending on how old your car is, if you're driving a 2008 model, 2009, 2010 and above, I find that you should not be going to 10W. You should be using 5W, so that in the morning your oil goes to the right places at the right time. Now, whenever your car is still new and the oil is thick, the engine will struggle to put the oil in places. Some oil residues will stay. So you can find someone having a new car, they open the engine because they put the wrong oil in the engine. For me, before I bought a car, my nights were always restless. Whenever I saw someone driving, I always felt hungry and always cried to God for one. That's why I ended up with a Spacio old model. Bully Madison, good morning. Kim Job. Then another thing, Arthur, I always admire the convenience a car comes with, moving at any time of the day you want, regardless of the weather and time. My dream was really fulfilled. Kale, but no side abasajja ba boda bayisiza on the left, ne bajja gwe ngo ina kudda ku left, naye nga ate wali aba boda abajja ba papa ate bajja badduka. Kate bwakugwamu n'ayagala omusasule nga byavuze bye by'ekisiru kati sibitegeera. So sometimes I take my time, especially and I think we should all take our time at traffic lights, because whether the border guy is at fault or not, you have to pay. Most of the times you will pay, and even if you don't pay, our border never sent. So you will end up fixing your own car. Ate baba ni sente nika mitwale ibidi abozi baba nazo. Which car is good for airport pickup? Budget 8 million. What 8 million you're going to buy Ipsam or Gaia? Ipsam or Gaia. But I don't know if people will choose Ipsam when there are other wishes. People are seeing Wish, ISIS, Noah. You're competing with those guys. 8 million, you do other things for now. That's the honest truth. You're going to be frustrated in those places. Yeah, I would find that if you have 8 million, don't look at airport pickup. Actually, with 8 million, first reinvest where you got that money and make about let's say 16, 17 to get a Wish, or you can make like 13, 14 to get a Raum new model. That one can at least compete. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but 8 million cannot get a car. Posing ogzeha nene space old model 1 million or munana. Airport pick up, because the guys that come from the aeroplane, they want to feel special. It's very hard for them to take an old kukujanga Uganda. I tell your brother or sister will not pay you. If they pay you, they will be giving you only fuel money. So for the guys that want to get to start airport pickup, the best thing for you to do is to collect more money. Collect more money. Ngabijja okujja ko nga batukubye ekikono. Mubalaba ababoda bali mpozi mwete mubalaba bamantala. So guys, question Friday, ask your questions. We're not tugenda bisoma tubidem. My question is, how important is or was buying your first car? Emoroka ye yasoka kyali kitya? How did you feel before you bought it, and when you bought it, how did you feel? How important was the Obadechi? Sarao. Now, for you guys, I find that the importance of the decision to buy a car should influence which car you buy. If it's not that important, you can buy just any car. If it's important, like how this gentleman is, moroka yange kaba kalira senga ngule moroka yo nenfaako bajja kunsekerera, then it's important that you buy a car that will not give you headaches. Okitegeere. But if you're the kind of person who have a moroka jezidi, you can even buy that Nissan Fuga. Ogirabye. Nemwe Nissan Fuga zinegejiza yuko obulungi mu ebitategeerekeka ate ziri comfortable. Ziri very comfortable. So question Friday, guys, bring on the questions. Ideete byonna tugenda kubiddamu. Byonna. And also, as you answer my question, how important is or was buying your first car to you? Was it a joke or it was something that you had to? Abantu ambasondera ne moroka emyaka egiwera omukaaga nga anoonya miliyoni 10 agule moroka, kati bwatuuka ogule moroka emiliyoni 10 ate nga ese moroka zeeyongedde kyovula banti bawulira bubi. And that's how people end up buying bad cars, because for someone who is sort of like breaking a curse of like tuinofune moroka mu family, bwagenda mu kibanda, brokers can take advantage. You get, and sometimes when you tell a broker, nzija n'omuntu ankebere bwete wetegerera, and you know there's a way that question can influence someone to start thinking that they don't need anyone else. Bwete wetegerera, then they have hit a nerve on the ego, like yeah, sisobola kutegerera kangine netegerere bugenda ne wetegerera. Remember, like I told you yesterday, the broker wants commission, the mechanic wants a client, customer, the car seller needs stock to move. Actually, the seller afa nnyo emmoroka ziveewo aleete endala yayuze mu capital we, okitegeera yikyafa. But anyway, question Friday, guys. Bring the questions on. Nze wendi ngenda bisoma byonna tubiddemu, and then after Masibu, and then I go do the news for tomorrow, because the news have to be uploaded tomorrow. And hopefully next Tuesday we will do the Entebbe Expressway night broadcast. I was unable to do it this Tuesday because byantabukako nagenda okutuuka ku express nga ziringa ssaawa 5. There was no way I was going to do that. Okitegeera. Yeah, but batuleetedde omusirikale wano ku gate yakamalawo emyezi ng'ebiri. But you know, have you ever seen someone and it's like it was their dream to be a watchman? The guy is dedicated, very, dedication. Guy obogenda kuyingira ku oboti nasooka kuyimiriza n'agenda mu kkubo n'ayimiriza emmoroka ezijja osobole okuyitawo aba akulengera oti. I think he even does push-ups so that he looks good in his uniform. Guy, it looks like it was a dream for him. Looks like it was a dream for him to be a watchman. You know how some kids used to say, I want to be a policeman, because we didn't even know the difference between a policeman and an army man. My kids told me they want to be policemen. Then policemen in Uganda. There is a lot of politics in there. Like when you hear some of the things that happen in there, this is what is happening. So anyway, good morning, Council Patrick Asiku. Bully Madison, I bought my first truck in cash. Took great care of it. My friend's dad bought him a Mustang and he rolled it in 3 days. Bully Madison, how are you? Where are you from, Bully Madison? By truck, you mean pickup truck, right? I told you yesterday that when you go back, it will not be there. Which one? The other one, the one for spring. We went back, the Chivina was not there. But there is another Chivina that I was called for. It's half light. And for the guys that have bought Chivinas before, you know that when you're buying a Chivina, half light is always the desired one. So they sent me a half light Chivina. I want to go and look at it. I've made it my mission to make sure this guy gets a car. Now it's no longer even about pre-purchase inspection. This guy's dream needs to come. Like, you know, have you ever said, "Now guy in Amani Arthur. I need to get." That's how he calls me, Arthur. Arthur. That's how he speaks. And I want to make sure that he gets the car. I want to make sure he gets. He talks like one of my OBs. One of my OBs are in a supermarket in Nigeria. That's how he also calls me. That's how he speaks. Aha! Buying my first car will be so special and personal. I love big cars. But say, if you already have cars. What do you mean first car? My first private car. Baram, good morning. Vinicat, Nampija Juliet. Aha, whistleblower. Arthur, I want an Alteza. Which budget should I look at? I don't mind the number plate provided it's in good condition. Lutu Agura Alteza 10.5. Twajigura 10.5. So I'm thinking you can get another one like that. But I cannot guarantee it will be in the condition that one was. So to be safe, have 15 million. Arthur, I want an Alteza. Okay, Nkumazi. Arthur, for me, for my first time, I have had someone explaining black tax better. I don't want to be a black tax to my children. God help me. This is how important buying my first car is. I'm into events, so Sienta will be good for a start as I deal with the stocking items. Because remember, we deliver service. So we into Alamuka saying, buying my first car is going to be special. But again, I'm afraid of maintenance and other problems related to cars because haven't got a stable income, but apparently have money to buy a car. Was 23. I mean 1,600 cc Ipsam. Teddy yo, Pentecostal Revival Ministries. There is no Ipsam with 1,600. That's what I say. Kaundo V6 liter and jifuna kumeka used in it depends. And there is the first model. In the first model, jifuna ne kukumi na bili. And bofuno mkusanyizona sanga asuza milioni nga munana mwendao. Yeah, but meda ne milioni 15 to be safe. Bobono nyaka kaundo meda ne milioni nga 25 26. Yeah, after if God wishes, I will buy my first car in next. I will buy my first car. Samuel, how is Kamuli? Toyota Allions are not very common, but they are there. There is that strange noise coming from alternator. I have taken it to a mechanic. They checked bearings and greased them, changed the cover, but it keeps coming back after working. Is it from the belt? Is it if it's from the belt, it will go away. Me, I had the same thing with my belt. It went away on its own. I wanted to change the belt, but then the mechanic told me the belt that comes with the cuff from the bond is the best. Like if you change these other belts, yes, you feel like it's new, but it's not better than the belt that comes with the car. Juliet Katekeme Sala. After I'm a broker and buying my first car, I just need it so that I could move my clients plot to plot in AC. That shows some responsibility. It's too for Vinicats. It's too for new. Kakati na atemwe bagai. Vinicats, I hope you already know that most brokers used to drive Mark II Musotan, Mark II Grand. Why? Those cars, yes, zisikira mabegera ziserera, na ite zifa. Kati, bobo yagala, atera ze moroka zenda mpuzi Mark-X na zo kati naku zino bazivuga. Atenga zili low maintenance. But broker bala bavuganga nnyo Primo, the old Primo, then the new Primo. Kubanga it has the boot, you can put your gumboots there before you go surveying land and all that. Guys, double tap the screen. Your 69 will have only 32 likes. Just double tap, tata, like tata, and the likes will come. That be the FX Traders network here because it's manual network and Wi-Fi in Amojeko, Nensigara network ya fene ya bulijo. After what requirements or parts I need to raise the grand clearance of a Toyota Sienta? Rough cost estimate 200,000. Depending on where you go. So what they are going to do, if your shocks are still okay, you'll buy springs and you'll buy spacers. That's all you need. You buy stronger springs and spacers. That's all you need to raise it. Good morning, Dr. Kasule Matia. Julius Ivan VIP Agamba. After between having a Subaru 2010 and a used Vitz UG as a first car, which would you recommend? If you have a budget for a 2010 Subaru, why not buy a 2010 Subaru? You just know that Subarus are very delicate. Subaru wekuta timing belt etaini. Okitegera ate posinga head bwe zibanga wina kujja kusinga head engine ebe egenze kale bazizaako but the damage to the engine is terrible. The same thing with the beams engine. You get it? So just know the Subaru is very delicate. But comparing a Subaru to a Vitz, any Subaru, I'm talking any Subaru, Trezia, Impreza, because it was like the smallest Subarus, it would be injustice to yourself. So, but the Vitz would be more reliable, depending on what budget you have. Which mechanic do you recommend for general Toyota service around Kampala? Maybe Luyombia Toyota, no, most mechanics can manage Toyota. And when your car has a problem that is hard to fix, chances are high most mechanics will find it hard to fix it. But there is no mechanic that will tell you Sobola. They will all tell you the last mechanic just did not know what they were doing, and then they end up doing the same thing and it still doesn't. So main service, all your mechanics can do it. We just tell them what you want done and they will do it. Compared to Touareg and Harrier Kaundo, that's a very bad comparison. Kaundo wins every time in terms of reliability, maintenance. Kaundo wins. Touareg is a passion car. It's a car you drive when you want to show people that Oliwa Akabi. Kaundo is the car you drive when you want to show Oliwa Akabi. Na ye, Sentizo Zibala. You get, that's why Kaundos are too many. No one I'm talking a Kaundo is entering the gate. There's a Kaundo parked there. There is no Touareg. There is a car that looks the Ipsam, a Volkswagen that is there. This man bought it from the bond, and I think at a certain point he wanted to sell it. They even showed me, and I told them no one is going to buy that car. No one bought it. No one bought it. He gave up selling it. So now he's driving his own car. The entire purchase experience of my first car taught me that a car can be an achievement in Uganda. It's not for average person in this car. It's not. Guys, emotoka si ya muntu wa bulijjo. Atenze bwe mbasagala kulya bakaba basajja bannange. Tobalya baleke. It's by the way, guys, one thing echi kambyogere mu Luganda, bakaba basajja abo mubalaba. Gwe muka musajja bwo mulya manya siggwa asoose. Bakaba basajja kye nabalabako omukazi omufumbo aba ayina kyanoonya kyatafuna mu bbaawe. Ng'alowooza abasajja abalala banaakimuwa naye nabo tebakimuwa. Kati n'asigala ng'ava ku ono n'adda kw'oli n'ayenjeera. Era omuntu ali abaka abasajja ebiseera ebisinga ebisiraani ayoola bingi because afuna ebisiraani bya bba w'omukazi n'afuna ebisiraani by'omukazi n'ebisiraani by'abasajja abalala beebaka n'oyo omukazi kuba tabeera omu. I'm telling you for a fact. Omuntu yekka atabikolangako kumanya nti bakaba basajja banoonya kino. Bwe ky'obumanya kiri nti bakaba basajja nabo tebamanyi kye banoonya. Okitegeera ebiseera ebimu muka musajja oyo omulaba aba yafumbirwa bbaawe nga tamwagala. Kati ng'ayinayo gaayi we gwe yali ayagala. Kati n'asigala nga ayina bbaawe nga ne gaayi gw'ayagala alya. Gaayi gw'ayagala n'atuuka n'abivaako. Gaayi gw'ayagala bw'abivaako n'asigala ng'ayina that void esigaddemu mu mutima gy'ayagala okufiiringa. Bbaawe tasobola gifiiringa. N'asigala ng'aginoonya mu bano abalala. Kati bano abasajja ab'ebbali bwe bajja ku mukazi ono omufumbo baba bamanyi alimu ekyama. Lwaki bbaawe yamuwasa agenda okujja ku mukazi omufumbo oyo nga naye ali ordinary. Kati wajja ku mukazi oyo ng'ali ordinary ng'amala ng'amuvaako. Okitegeera bw'amuvaako bw'ati omukazi ono asigala kiri tekiri field ng'avaawo ng'adda ku mulala. Ebiseera ebisinga abo bakazi abafumbo ekintu ekiri the gap gy'ayina ayinza n'ogifiiringa n'abasajja basatu naye tasobola kugifiiringa. Tesobola kubeera felt. That's why you guys abali abaka abasajja mubeere very very careful. Very careful. Gwe ebiseera ebimu omusajja ajja naggumira mukazi we agumira obwenzi bwa mukazi we. Okitegeera lwaki abugumira? Tabugumira nti ki? Abugumira asobola obutaswala nnyo. Nekanveyo kaneme kubeera nga relationship expert. But that's from my experience. That's what I know. That omukazi omufumbo gwe mugendeko ng'oli very careful because nawe tosobola kumumatiza. What car can I get with 16 million? Preferably Toyota. 16 million, you can get a lot of Toyotas. You can get Alex, Ranex, you can get Raum, you can get Spacio, you can get Sienta, you can get Harrier, especially the old model. There are so many cars that you can get. There are so many cars that you can get with 16 million. How do you rate the Mazda Demio? If you can avoid it, but it's not a bad car. You get it? Mr. Arthur Leron Kurabi, I parked here at Kampala Road as I'm watching the live. Arthur, is it possible to get filled at UBL, UBM? You can't. Keep job, you can't. You can't. Mr. Arthur, the first car I saw while growing up was a Toyota Kevin manual. Levin, Ogamba Levin, nga mzee itakiriza kwatako na my big sis bought a Primo and I learned from it. Then Chigege, but now I will buy my own. When I read such a statement, do you feel that buying his first car is not just buying a car, it's something much more? The segment, my inspection fee is 450,000 as of now. 450,000. One day in Kampala. Arthur, why is Vitz RS more powerful to the X? It cannot race with the Subaru. Derek, I think I answered this yesterday. There is no Vitz RS that can race with the Subaru. No. Okuja Konga they have. Because when these cars are racing, they race cars that are in the same category. Chovola banembiko nebaleta heavyweight, lightweight, medium weight. Kakati. If a Vitz is racing a Subaru of 1.3 liters, nga Vitz na 1.3 liters, maybe then that's a fair comparison. But a Vitz of 1.5 liters to compete with a Subaru of 2 liters, omuvuzi wa Subaru yaba ine ekizibu. Okitegeera, and I find that ebiseera ebimwe tugenda ne tulowooza nti olw'okuba wa Vitz ayisizo wa Subaru or Vitz esinga Subaru amaanyi. No. Derek nedda biveke. After I told you yesterday that when you go back to that mechanic, it won't be there. But what you guys had to do was give him 2 million deposit. Aonga mujimaze. Auntie Raymond, omanye moroka wasi gwagura nga CEO, tosobola kusala uma angwago. So at the time when we went to that Shibina, the buyer told me he had 4 million strict. So I bargained with that mechanic to 1 million nyaze nyini. Makanika naagana nga yagala million nya kitundu ngate okujifuwa tujesa sulira. That meant we were going to 5 million. So by the time this gentleman accepted kai tugende tumwe sente ne mugamba kale genda onsooke oyansoose nayo buyansoose yo nga guy taliwo nga nafe tumukubire simu takwata until someone told era bwe yagenze ku moroka ye mwennyini the person that was buying, then ababaddewo ku moroka abagolozi ne bamugaa katuwe namba ya nannyini motoka, kumbe gwe bamuwa nannyini moroka ye musajja yagiguze. Okitegeera? So oli twavudde bwati oli ne bamusibako sente nowa 10 endala gye lwabadde tulabye ye byokutunda nga takyabiriko ng'agamba talina gyazaawo. You get it? So but this other Chibina that I've been told looks okay. Lwakuba nayo bagisedde bagira mu $1.5 million, but it might actually look better if it's in good condition. It might be a bad, because you have light, it might be a better buy than even the other one they were spraying. Tugenda tubagaininge mutulabe ate ya kadi mpya. Now the other one ya kadi nkadde, and kadi empya yesinga kukaze kadi enkadde ogikyusa omalawo ekitunye emitwalo 5. Arthur, good morning. I'm standing between Harrier Kauna and Prado TX 2002. What do you think? Yange kwevuga gula TX gula TX buy a TX. Yeah, gula TX. If you drive short distances, buy the petrol. If you drive long distances, nganze, because now me, if I'm to buy a second car, I'm looking at a diesel. If I'm to buy a second car, I'm not looking at petrol anymore. I want to buy a diesel because nze kati nvuga kilomita 10 olunaku. Like today morning mvuze kilomita woza sinkaga. Today morning 60. Kati ate ngenda kuvuga au makati kati gekuba golunaku awo ngenda vuga mu ku motoka awo then olunaku then nzire mu mvuga ezire wange. So kati nze moroka ya diesel ngisobola okitegere vuga distance impamvu. So I want to try diesel as a second car, as a third yange bera ya kusatu. Good morning Ben Kako, Jay Sekaja, good morning Isoba Ivan. Guys, double tap muganya ku double tapping. Just double tap like this. Like that. Just double tap. After I have my foot, okay. After how important is building a house than making a small source of income? Joseph Bali could name it. Now, knowing what I know right now, there are things that we have been told as we grow up that they are very important. Now I know they are not as important as we think. Land and houses. Land and houses are good as an investment. But if you don't have other investments, land and houses might actually be a very bad idea. You imagine locking up 50 million, if you have 50 million right now, locking up 50 million in a home, and then you don't have capital. Have you thought of that? But that's for people that have the entire amount together. If you don't have the entire amount, then it's different. Now, then you're going to ask me, how come most people have homes and they are happy? Majority of Ugandans, including myself, are living in mansions that they did not build at once. You get it? Like most Ugandans are living in houses that are worth 120 million, 200 million. Nenga, they have never even held 30 million once. Ngafune million bidi na abako chatekao. Nafune million bidi na abako chatekao. Now, if they were to use the 2 million for business, they have no idea what to do. But 2 million for them to buy bricks and sand and cement and build part of the house, it's okay. So, agendo kumalize miaka jigendo kuwera mukaga. Ngenyumba yedi mu milioni bibili. Nenga tako atanga ku milioni bibili za awamu. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying. So, Joseph Valley Kudembe, it's different. If you have 50 million at once, maybe you can buy land and then invest in business. You get it? Instead of just tying up all that money in a house. But I would encourage people to build houses, especially those that ngasento kwata antono go chimanyi, because you can be there. Like we were having a talk with my wife some time ago. We just had our firstborn, and then we were having this talk back and forth. She wanted 5 kids, and literally me, before I met her, I didn't want any child. So, and I was telling her we're going to have only 2 children. Why? They give each other company. Like I can see it now. These boys are inseparable. They sit in the car, and then Ragnar tells Rolf, I bought you something. Hey, thank you very much. And then they are talking back and forth. You get it? When they get home, they can play with each other and all that. So that's the reason why I had 2 children, but I would have even had 1. So we're having this back and forth. And I did the math for her, and I told her, you know what? For you to raise a child in Uganda, you need, in a good life, you need a minimum of 200 million. Now, if you're going to have 5 children, that means 200 million times 5. That means you need is that 1 billion shillings? Is that 1 billion? That's a lot of money. Do you look at me as a person that is going to make 1 billion just for the kids? Because one of the reasons why we still have black tax now in Uganda is because parents keep having kids they have not planned before. They don't even know how much it will take to raise these kids. So they keep having kids. Nazala natukanga abana tabasobola. Kati abana n'atabawerera bama zako university. Omwana akoma mu senior 4 mwakomye talina mulimu gwe bayinza mu wakola n'obwongo bwenyi tebunakula bulungi kutandika kuyiya. Kati ate obusente obutono bwatandise ofuna omutwalo na ne muzadde we nayagala kakaga bwatamuwa n'amukolimira. The reason why we have black tax is that. You get it? So I find that if, for example, you have a lump sum, tandika ko wotandise because okuzimba kuli important ewaffe mu Africa naddala nti oli musajja okuzimba kuli important. Bw'oba olina sente nga nnyingi nga zawamu, tie it up somewhere and then do a business as well. Okitegeera, so that you have that income coming. Abantu bangi bazimbye ennyumba zaabwe ne bazitunda layisi because they don't have income. You guys see houses in Matuga, houses in Wachiso, ng'ennyumba za layisi, like a house is cheaper to buy than even land. Okitegeera, why? Because people get money ne baziteeka mu nnyumba n'amaliza nga talina kyakulya because talina ki. Like people go abroad n'akomawo ne sente, akomayo ne millioni zaana, zonna n'azizimbamu ennyumba. Okitegeera, bw'amala okuzimba ennyumba nga talina kiddako, ng'alina kuddayo, ng'ate n'eziddayo alina kusinga nnyumba. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So Joseph, I think this is a personal decision. You can think about it yourself, but knowing what I know right now, or kugata, you talk to yourself or you talk to your partner. We know kugata about what is important. The house is important, but sometimes it's not really important. Sometimes a source of income is more important, but also the source of income is important if you know how to utilize it. Bantu banji batade sente mu business nezifa ukitegeera. Can 14 million get me a new shape? No, you can't. You can't. It can't. Not now, guys. Not now. Like a year ago, you could have gotten even a UBG at 14, but not now. Arthur, thanks for the show. We love the broadcast. I mean, then double tap. We love the show. You have not double tap. Double tap. I was dreamt of making Vanguard my first car. Okay. I bought a Chibina for my normal hustle, and when I have former clients, I bought some Harrier 3 liter. Era katibanda banga mubede. Awo. Vinicas by the way bovuga abantu mu kihari yecho. Gabamanyi. Good morning, Chigondo Chiwanuka. Arthur, briefly explain to us what things should be done when you bought your first used car or bond car, like maintenance things. We have been saying this along over the day. I'm going to do a broadcast for that. Greetings, Arthur. Mark X 2008, Mark X 2000. What can they're literally the same car. I'm sure when you look at them, you cannot even differentiate. So buy whichever is a better offer. Which they get, right? Sebugwa Medi, Muchunguzi Spencer. What's the difference between Vanguard and RAV4? The design, it's different when you look closely. You'll find that they have the same engine. You'll find that the interior is quite similar, but I find that the Vanguard is a little bit more macho. The RAV4 is sexier. I want my first car to be a RAV4. Kati nina kunoonya sente mmeka RAV4 ki RAV4 webera RAV4 nkadde million nga 910 weba RAV4 eddakaawo million 18 17 webera the other 2008 model million 3 nga 5. I'm good, Aiden. How are you? Mr. Arthur, I need a car. I've driven many but ain't mine. Ogenda fune motoka starch. Ogenda fune motoka. Ate what we've been doing, it's guarantees as long as you are alive, you will get it. So some of the things we just need to keep alive. We just need to stay alive. We just need to make the right decisions to keep us alive. And all the things you want, you'll get. At what time do you leave home every morning? Because you're very punctual. You drive a long distance. We leave, like today, we left 10 minutes to 6 a.m. Yeah. And normally I want to leave at 5:30. But you know how sometimes it can be. Like today, we wanted to leave at 5:30, but we woke up at 5:30. And we woke take a car now. Wow. So we left. We woke up at 5, not 5:30. It was 5. Yeah. Normally when we wake up like 4:30 there, we can leave 5:30, which take it, right? But it depends on the days. And some days I drive. Some days I drive very fast. Some days I drive very slow. Some drives depends on the mood. Yeah. ISTUBS series mid conditions available 18 million. Nice. Kati walirudda walulinga tunonya IST. Nera kuba jesse olumugama mint nga temutegeeza mint. Mr. Arthur Chogamba Ugandans bazaala. Majority of Ugandans start bazaala for without a plan. And it's a fact banana to kill. And also next week, one of these days, please talk about asset rich cash flow. Yesterday, guys, over the bossing energy Kazoba BL, good morning, Arthur. How can you confirm that a car has fully been transferred to your names after receiving an approval of change of ownership? Go to your TIN number and download your logbook. Firstborn, good morning. Can 14 million get you a good Ramos password? Yes, but not in the new number plates. What's the difference between alignment and wheel balancing? Wheel balancing, you see, rim. The rim is the wheel. The rim is the wheel. So when they do wheel balancing, they're making sure the rim is balanced. By balance, it's equal on all edges. Wheel balancing. Wheel alignment is making sure the wheels are aligned, they're straight. Like not one is not inside, another is not like this. That's the difference. If that man has 60 million at once, he can buy a plot of land for like 20 million, then be using 40 million in business as he uses the profits to keep buying materials slowly. At the end of the year, he may have bought all the. Thank you, Mr. Lucius. Ochiwide Joseph bali kudembe bobo ina sente nga nyingi milioni ngaka nga zitute. Kwata ko milioni abiri teka uproti. gene million ana gateke mu business amagoba gava mu business tan kugako atako ngogula material obingo chimaze. I love Corolla Rumion to be my first car at an affordable price, but I would love to be guided. I mean, I used to forge jifuna ate Rumion is chali impia. I have the same issue. However, previously, after receiving the approval email, you get another with the link containing your logbook. Thank you, Seth. Actually, you don't even need to use that link. Log into your team. Go to Budgeter vehicle profile. When you go to vehicle profile, you go to check ownership, cars in your names, and then you'll see the names, and then they'll show you how to download your logbook. You get a PDF. Arthur, please, can you explain Benz E-Class, C-Class? Which one is the best? C-Class is like the basic. E-Class is like Chikumi. You get it? E-Class is like Primo. Hello, car lovers. And then there's the S-Class. There are a bunch of classes there. The S-Class is like the Crown. You get it? What's the best hydraulic fluid for Primo new model? Don't touch it. Which new model though? 2008 obedi yasoka. Ere yasoka use any hydraulic. But if it's the 2008, it must VT to jikwata ko Jesu. Arthur, can I get a Mark X 2017? I don't know. No, you can't. 2009? No, we're gonna find 2005. Logbook is downloaded only once. Yes, you can only download it once. So once you download your logbook, the backing up ku take a Google Drive, then you can print one to move within the car. Otherwise, when I just want to manya. Yeah. When Jaja Mukasa was made. Guys, kabasibule. Make sure you're not a black tax system for your kids. Echincha black tax chino chitwalange ekyokusaga naye kikulu. Abamu kumwe temuna bako kibwe koyira black tax oyina batobo bowera oyina bakazi nibo oyina bani abokujjanjaba oyina bani naye nga ate kyatandikira mu myaka gyaffe twirwaneko twetegekere. Me, I've been looking at men nga ine myaka 7 naye nga avuga ekimotoka kye ayina wajja sente ze abaana ne bata mukubira tafaayo yabakubira no bakubira obaye muri bulungi obamba weyo ku sente okitegeera. We need to strive a lot to not be a black tax system for our children. Kitegeeza gwazaala buli mwana gwozaala mubale onoosobola okukola emyaka emiliyoni 2 ngazize until the time wave uwo million yebya ngato mutute mbusomero ngo mutute masomero agobuvunanyizibwa kakadde ze million 3 buli mwaka tobaze material tuition yeka million 3 buli mwaka in 10 years ze million 3 ukitegeera in 20 years ze million 6 we tuition ukitegeera kati ogateko obugwagogwa okulwala okwambala okulya ukitegeera ugateko requirements awo oyinza okugwera million bobanga tewejarabiza nnyo nga makosomero tegali nnyo million nga 15 buli mwana mbalire million 15 osubira okubanga okoze buli mwana gwozaala abaana 10 ye billion emu n'ekitundu osubira ate mulekerawo okwegumya ebintu bya Mukama Katonda. Life will not be like this forever. Things will improve. What if they don't improve? Because if you're struggling with your parents right now, your parents also used to think things would improve, but they did not improve. And now you have to pitch it to look after your siblings. So I find that the black tax is one of the biggest issues for us here. Nze negombanya abasajja akoze n'akola nnyo n'atuuka nga ate abaana be bali bulungi because of them. Nga ate teba struggling because of them, because there are people that are struggling because of their parents. So kyonna kyekiri ffe twetereze nga abavubuka okitegeera otuuke ng'oli musajja muzeeyi myaka 7 naye ng'osobola ovuga emmotoka yo nga tolina gw'okubidde mpaayo kuza battery ebyo abantu bedda bo baamalanga gazaala bo baalinga basobola okukola kuba baalinanga amanimiro azaala n'oyingira ennimiro n'olima tewali byakuweerera nga bw'olwala onywa mululuuza okitegeera nga gye mulaga mutambuza bigere tewaliwo kugira taxi obanga weeyazika eggaali ewamulirwana eggaali tezaafa nga baazeekanikiranga. Naye kati muganda wange wano we tuli wano kabasiibule muyombya Mark Jones Info Mugalasi Joshua Mix Farm Tusime Eddie Travel Live Vlog Lawrence Byamukama George Bob, Chris Da Vinci, Deep in Coffee, Emmanuel Kabale, Bruno Isingoma. What's the best app for bookkeeping? App jenkwesa bajita baja. I can send you a link, Deep in Coffee. You text me where is the link here, app jenkwesa. I actually paid for Pro. It's a very good one. You can even have budget mode. Saith Kagawa, Louis, Mukisime Kim, Job Wambale, Johnson, Enos Wambi, Benzi Chris, George Senkubuge, Julius Ivan, VIP, Max Suna, Abdul, Andrew Okuni, Judion Opaye, Benzi Chris, Elim Pentecostal Revival Ministries, Busula, Derek Kavumaka, Tom Muhammad, Tusime Eddie, Fahad Lubuka, Idris M, Nsereko Starch, Chris Fitness Luburwa, Ngabi the FX Trader, Semanda Raymond, Mosasizi Samuel, Saith Kagava, Dero, Dumba Collins, Bully Madison, The Segment, Council Patrick Asiku, Baram Moriebuzi, Vinicat, Nampija Joliet, Whistleblower, Mano, yes, Official, Namwabari Mukamori, I don't take you for granted, Nampija Joliet, but shit, over Yanyoyo. Derek Lule, Dr. Kasule Matia, Marvin Luyombia, Huzaifa Abdul Shakur, Ninsima Brick, Movie Shorts, The Segment, Joseph Bali Kudembe, Ben Kako, J. Sekaja, Boss Dog, Isoba Ivan, Katende Umaru, Richard Luanga, Itanga Emmanuel, Chigundu Chiwanuka, Kainza Recho, Sebugwao Medi, Muchunguzi Spencer, Mr. Cometa UGVIP, Mr. Lucius, Aiden, Chris Da Vinci, Sharif D, Jesse Semogerere, Kazoba, Firstborn, Wafula Yusuf, Kainza Recho, Adevuku Kevin. I don't know how much the Yamaha is. Harrison Mohindo, Chairman Zach. Dumba, you go to your team. All right, guys, thank you very much for being part of the broadcast. Mukama may the good Lord bless you. Lucky Mose. Namabani Mukamoli. Ciao, ciao.